Hello.
Hi. Do I know you?
No, I don't.
No, I do. You are that guy at that cafe that I was at earlier. Are you following me?
I don't think so, no.
Yeah, okay.
You're her, aren't you? You're the one. The next in line. I knew it. This is why they sent me here. They sent me here to find you.
I'm just gonna go, I think.
Ugh, the Painter's Keep is so close. I can almost... What was that for?
What was that for? Are you kidding me? You are a strange man who just came up to me, a teenage girl, and is telling me that I am the one and that I am the next in line. You're lucky. All I did was spray you with water.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. But I am one of the good guys, actually.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm just gonna...
No, don't leave.
I'm just gonna go.
Where are you? Don't leave. Where are you going? I'm one of the good guys.
Hello my friends, my name is AJ and welcome back to my book nook. I hope you liked my new little intro. It's something new that I'm trying. Let me know if you want to see more little skits like that because I think that they'd be fun. But today we are going to be talking about an author who I've actually covered before on this channel as part of my Canadian Author Spotlight series. And today we are going to be talking about H.A. Stevens' The Startrail Painter's Keep, which is the second book in the Startrail series, the first of which being The Portal Painter, which of course I covered on a Canadian Author Spotlight series video before. If you haven't watched that video, then I highly suggest you go check it out. I will leave a link down in the description for you to go watch it for yourself, and then you can come back here and see my opinion on the second book in this series. If you have watched the video, which I'm going to assume you have, then you should know that I really enjoyed the book. I thought it was really clever. I thought it was really creative. There was a lot of great action in it as well, and so I was really excited for the second book, especially because the first book is really more of an introduction to the Startrail and everything that surrounds it. So I was excited to actually dive into that world and really get to see it a lot more, and honestly this book did not disappoint. So first and foremost, let's talk a little bit about what Painter's Keep is about. So it follows the character of Sarah Carlson, picking up right after the previous book left off. She is thrown into a brand new world, trying to figure out who she is and how she fits into this world, especially with being responsible for the keys to the Painter's Keep. At the same time, Sarah is also trying to figure out how to get her father out of prison by trying to find the necklace that he had been trying to find before being sent there. The Startrail hangs in the balance as Sarah is torn between two groups. The united ones, the agents of Panveer, who are set on getting the keys back so that they can open up the Painter's Keep and use the sea fane there to distribute stardust across the world, so they say, and the Erleonians, who were the original settlers of the Startrail, who have tried to gain Sarah's trust and tell her that the United Ones are the ones that are lying to her and not the other way around. Sarah must go through a journey through the many realms of the Startrail as she tries to figure out who it is that she should believe and how she should proceed to save the Startrail. First and foremost, I gotta say, my main concern with the previous book has absolutely been rectified with this one. My main complaint was that we didn't really get to explore the world so much. We were sort of introduced to the idea of the Startrail and the idea of portal painters, but we never really got to dive into it that much. And in this book, we absolutely do, to an absolute maximum. You get to see, smaller realms within realms. You get to visit new realms. You get to see how portal painting works. Everything that I could have wanted to see in the first book of exploring that idea a bit further is explored in this book, and it's done so well. There's a lot to go through the magical system as well. It's very complex. There's a very complex sort of hierarchy and magic system, but it didn't feel that difficult to understand. It's explained in a very easy to understand way, and it's explained very thoroughly, but not in a way that feels like exposition. It's revealed as it needs to be revealed. They don't reveal too much information right away, so it feels very natural because you are learning it with Sarah. As Sarah learns about what the world is like, she gets to learn alongside the audience. And Sarah's journey is such a fantastic one to follow, honestly. It's so amazing to be able to see her grow into her powers and get to see her become more confident as the book goes on and explore things that she learns she's able to do. It also provides the audience with a really good medium to learn through. Instead of just being sort of along for the ride and having to slowly learn about a world that all the characters already know about, it seems like we're on the same level as Sarah and we understand what she's going through because we're learning about all this for the first time as well. Speaking of the sort of fantasy world of this book, I was absolutely blown away by the world building in this. Like I said, the magic system is phenomenal. I absolutely love it. It didn't seem too complex, but it was just complex enough that it added a lot of depth to the story. And I also just loved all the different fantastic worlds that we got to see. So we get to go to a fairy realm, which was absolutely wonderful. We got to go to a new realm that Sarah gets to visit for the first time. We get to see the Portal Forest in Norway. And it was great because not only did you get to see all these creative worlds, but you also got to see how different every single one of them was and how different the inhabitants of each of these places are, because we spend a lot of time in the fairy realm, which is very different from the inhabitants and the landscape of Achilles. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I could be wrong. There's a lot of words here that are difficult to pronounce. But it was really great to be able to see the differences of all these different characters, all these different landscapes, and there was a lot of moments of humor and this just fantastical, magical moments that I really was missing from the first book, and I think that this one really, really stepped it up in how deep we are thrown into that world. Now, I mentioned that Sarah is sort of torn between the United Ones, which are the agents of Panveer, and the Erleonians. And I gotta say, Panveer is such a well-written villain. He's so good. I love the villains that are very calm and collected, as if they know that they're gonna win. I absolutely love those villains. I absolutely love how charming and manipulative they can be. They're some of my favorite to read because you're left in the same place as the main character. You know, I was going into it knowing, okay, Panveer's the bad one, you know, he's not to be trusted, and knowing that from the first book, and then getting to actually interact more with his agents and more with him, and actually getting to see how he acts and being so charming and manipulative. And I started to question myself, like, oh, maybe he's not the bad guy. Maybe this is gonna take a very interesting turn. And it was just really, really well done, because if a book can make you do that, if the villain of a story can make you start to think, maybe I'm on the wrong side here, then that's how you know that it's a well-written villain. And honestly, I think that it was just a big highlight of the book to be able to see how he acts and how he is so conniving. I do just have one qualm with the book, and that is that there were some moments that acted as a bit of a recap of what happened, and it usually involved one of them telling someone else who they had gotten separated from what they had been doing. And sometimes that was something that we had already read before in a previous book, and sometimes that was something that we hadn't seen at all. It happened off camera. And I just felt like those scenes a lot of times could have been more concise. They seemed a little bit redundant. Obviously, you do want to reference things that had happened in the previous books if you're doing a series, because it might have been a while since people read the previous book and you want to make sure that they know what's happening. But I just felt like they were a little bit, I guess, too in-depth is the best way I can put it. We could have done with a lot more succinct, less detailed recaps, essentially, and I think it would have just tightened it up a little bit more. But other than that, I don't have a big problem with it. Other than that, I think that the book is just very, very well written, a very fun adventure, a very amazing world, and I can't wait to see what comes next with this author. Overall, I would just say that The Painter's Keep is a fantastic sequel to Portal Painter. It absolutely builds on it and lets us explore the world in a lot more detail, but it also feels very much like its own great story by itself. It has some amazing character building, both with our main character of Sarah, as well as the character of Panveer, as well as the amazing world that it's set in is so beautifully constructed and just fun to explore. If you haven't read the series, then I highly suggest you give it a read, and if you haven't watched my other video, then I highly suggest you go and check that out as well. But that is it for me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want to be notified the next time I put out a video. And let me know in the comments below, have you read the Startrail, Painter's Keep, or Portal Painter, or did this video make you want to give it a try? Let me know. I would love to have a conversation with all of you. But that is it for me today. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see all of you lovely people in the next video. Bye!